Did you ever wonder what makes an idea take shape and take form and become real? Stay tuned. Hello again, everyone. I'm Eli's dad with Project Eli, where we educate, we lead, and we inspire. And I was inspired. I read a book by Malcolm Gladwell called The Tipping Point. Wow, this book made me think in so many different directions. Let's get right started because there's a lot of really good stuff here. All right, first of all, ideas and products and messages and behaviors spread just like viruses do. Epidemics, whether they're medical, social, or cultural, share a basic underlying pattern. First of all, they're clear examples of contagious behavior. Trends in fashion are an easy example of this phenomenon. An extreme example would be that fans that wear cheese as their chapeau of choice while attending a Green Bay Packers game, they're known far and wide as cheeseheads. A bit more subtle would be the resurgence of Converse All-Stars tennis shoes as a fashion statement. That's what I used to wear when I was playing ball. Now, ball players don't wear them, they're just a fashion statement. Or the popularity of ripped jeans. You get the idea. What happened is that a small number of people in a small number of situations clearly started behaving very differently. Somehow, a large number of people got infected with the Converse, with ripped jeans, and cheesehead viruses in a very short period of time. The second distinguishing characteristic of these examples is that small changes can have big effects. Look no further than the number of cases of flu from last winter. A large majority of people wore masks last winter, and the number of flu cases were practically eliminated. In terms of hospitalizations, the 2021 flu season was the lowest recorded since this type of data has been tabulated. Here's the major point. Small changes can have significant and immediate impact. These changes didn't happen slowly and steadily. Masks, social distancing, and a general consciousness of proximity to others were all small changes that made a huge difference. These three characteristics, contagiousness, the fact that little changes can have big effects, and that change happens not gradually, but in one dramatic moment, are the same three principles that define how measles move through a grade school classroom. Of the three principles, the third epidemic trait, the idea that epidemics can rise or fall in one dramatic moment, is the most important because it is that principle that makes sense of the first two principles. It permits the greatest insight into why modern change happens the way that it does. The name given to that one moment in an epidemic when everything can change all at once is the tipping point. The tipping point is the biography of an idea, and the idea is always very simple. When you stop and think about it, this principle is something that you already know and use constantly. And like other universal principles that we've discussed from this very pulpit, it is too often ignored as a law of nature. And to re-emphasize the rules of success, the more one works in harmony with the laws of nature, the more likely one's chances of achievement are to be realized. The tipping point is the biography and idea, and once again, the idea is always very simple. Just as a reminder, how about the time that you suddenly remembered the name of that classmate from years ago while you were brushing your teeth or driving on the highway? It came to you in a mind flash because you were in a state of relaxed focus. As we've proven time and time again, when you are in that state of mind, relaxed focus, it is the most productive time to receive prodding from the subconscious mind, and also known as the universal partner. This is why I constantly urge people to set aside some quiet thinking time consciously, on a conscious basis, each and every morning. We know how to do it, yet we don't take advantage of how nature works best for us. Some tipping point examples. How long, Eli, do you study for an exam? Well, first, you decide if you want to ace the test or merely do average, if you just want to be okay, if you want to get a C. Once you decide that, the amount of time allotted for studying and the intensity of your effort is then defined. It becomes your tipping point for the success of the desired end result. Okay, Eli, let's get a little bit more personal. Can you honestly say that when you are directed to clean up your room, it is never clean enough for surgery to be performed, but is always one small dust ball cleaner than the average service station restroom? You decide your effort, your tipping point, by determining how clean your room must be so that your mom and I will be satisfied at the most minimum level. And you go no further. Or how about when you go out on a date? The tipping point of your effort to groom yourself depends a great deal with whom you're going to be spending your time. Are you going fishing? You're going to the gym? Okay? It's not quite the same preparation time for that as for a romantic evening with the latest and the greatest woman in your life. Am I right on that? Today, we discuss what is a tipping point. Next time we get together, we're going to discuss the elements necessary to create a tipping point and how they evolve. Once again, huge shout out, Malcolm Gladwell, the author of The Tipping Point, from whom much of this information evolved. And until next time, always remember, don't ration the passion, fashion the passion. I'm Eli's dad.